Hello everyone and welcome to a breastfeeding class presented by the Breastfeeding Clinic in the Helderberg Basin, Cape Town, South Africa. Just a quick disclaimer, the information provided in this program is to assist you in exploring all available options to empower you to make well-informed decisions, to help you feel in control, be responsible for and have confidence in your choices. Information should please not be substituted for the diagnosis and treatment of any medical condition, and also please never disregard professional medical advice or delay in seeking it because of something that you have received in this program. And this recording is not intended to replace professional or medical or other kinds of advice. So in the previous recording 2 of 4, covering the anatomy and the physiology, we looked at the breast anatomy in more detail. And in this recording, which is the third one of the 4 recordings, we will look at the physiology of human milk production. Now, hormones are chemical messengers. They carry information and instructions. And hormones help control mood and growth and development and the way our organs work and metabolism and reproduction, etc. Now, estrogen and progesterone are well-known hormones involved in the regulation of a woman's menstrual cycle. And these hormones also play a role in pregnancy. So during pregnancy, various hormones helps the breast to grow and develop in size. And the familiar estrogen, it grows or regulates the growth of the ducts in the breast. And the progesterone and prolactin and growth hormones and possibly placental lactogen, they are all required for the development of the alveoli. And this is definitely an oversimplification of what's happening, because there are definitely more things involved. Now, progesterone, it's a hormone also produced by the placenta. Apart from helping the milk-making tissue grow during pregnancy, it also prevents copious milk production during pregnancy. Now note, this is progesterone, it's not prolactin, which is the milk-making hormone. Now, a woman's body starts producing milk products about the middle of the second trimester. And you can see on the slide those little yellow dots, that's the prolactin or the milk-making hormone. So although the levels are quite high during pregnancy, the milk-making hormone prolactin, it cannot cause the alveoli or milk-making cells to make copious amounts of milk. And let's see why. It is because the hormone progesterone blocks the prolactin receptor sites in the alveoli, much like you see that blue little triangles in the slide. So again, this is an oversimplification, but this is how we understand it. So after the birth of the baby, the placenta is born, and after the birth of the placenta, because the placenta was, amongst others, a progesterone factory, the progesterone levels fall. You can see the blue dots in the slide. Anyway, it's a very complex process by which the receptor sites on the alveoli is then unblocked, and now the prolactin, the yellow triangle, can come in and start to make lots of milk. So this process takes about 30 or 40 hours, but most women feel the increase around 3 to 4 days. So after birth, the hormones of pregnancy decreases, and two other hormones, prolactin and oxytocin, become more important during breastfeeding. So prolactin is a hormone that produces that helps with the production of milk, and oxytocin helps with the flow. So let's look at these two a little closer. So there is a prolactin theory that suggests frequent milk removal in the early days will increase the number of prolactin sites in the breast. So, and if there's more prolactin receptor sites, it means that more prolactin can pass into the milk-making cells, and then more milk can be produced. So this means once the baby is born, just feed. That's going to increase your chances of having lots of milk. So this slide explains how prolactin supports production. So prolactin is the most important hormone for regulating milk production in the months after birth. So when a baby suckles at the breast, nerve message goes from the nipple to the brain, and in response, the anterior lobe of the pituitary gland at the base of the brain secretes a hormone prolactin into the bloodstream, and this prolactin then comes in the blood to the breast and tells the milk making cells to make milk. Most prolactin is in the blood about 45 minutes after the beginning of the feed, and this helps the breast to continue producing milk after the feed to be ready for the next feed. So for this current feed, the baby takes the milk already in the breast, though the milk is continuously being produced. So more prolactin is produced at night because prolactin secretion follows circadian rhythms. This is kind of the sleep-wake cycle. That's one of the most widely recognized circadian rhythms, and humans tend to become more tired at night and feel more awake during the day. So bottom line is breastfeeding at night is helpful for keeping the milk supply higher because we've got more prolactin at night, and that is the milk making hormone. So the most important stimulator for prolactin production is suckling or nipple stimulation. And prolactin levels will only spike during periods of suckling and nipple stimulation, which allows for control over milk production. So as long as suckling is maintained, prolactin levels will stay high. And remember, prolactin is the most important hormone for making milk. So what does this suggest about increasing a mother's milk supply? So it means to increase her supply, a baby must continue to suckle. If the baby doesn't suckle enough, the prolactin levels will fall and the breast will make less milk. So this is important, especially in the first month or so after birth, when the milk production is adjusting to the baby's needs. The prolactin has many other functions as well, and a few are mentioned on the slide. So this slide explains how the hormone oxytocin works. So when a baby suckles at the breast, a nerve message goes from the nipple to the brain, and in response, the posterior lobe of the pituitary gland at the base of the brain secretes oxytocin into the bloodstream. And then the oxytocin comes in the blood to the breast and makes the cells around the alveoli contract. And the milk is then just flowing out of the alveoli, along the ducts, to the larger ducts, and out the nipple. So some mothers will see milk leaking on the other side while baby's feeding on one side. And this is called the oxytocin reflex or milk ejection reflex or the lay-down reflex. So you will see described in various literature. So oxytocin enables the baby to get milk. So if oxytocin makes the milk flow, that will mean if there's no oxytocin reflex, there's no milk. Now, this is something we need to remember from, especially for when expressing. So oxytocin also has many other functions as well, and a few of those are also mentioned on the slide. Let's talk a little bit more about oxytocin. Oxytocin can start working before a baby suckles, when a mother expects to breastfeed. Now, how does this work? So we have seen oxytocin release happen as a result of baby suckling at the breast, but it is possible to start the reflex without baby suckling, such as handling the breasts or thoughts of milk flowing or hearing any baby cry or being feeding time, etc. And this is because the brain is wired in such a way that the nerve pathways for milk ejection runs through the emotion processing area of the brain. So it's also possible that the milk ejection reflex can be slowed by things like pain, tension, stress, hunger, being tired, angry, in a hurry. Anything that raises the adrenaline has the potential to hamper oxytocin. Now, this slide just shows the oxytocin reflex or how it is affected by the mother's thoughts and feelings. So a positive feeling such as feeling happy about the baby and feeling confident, those thoughts and feelings can help oxytocin or help the oxytocin reflex work well. And other feelings such as pain and worry and doubt, that can hinder the oxytocin reflex. So, for example, a mother may experience pain from sore nipples, or maybe she's in pain from birth, or maybe she doubts that she has enough milk. And this hinders the flow of milk. So, acute stress or trauma can also hinder the oxytocin reflex. And then the mother may think that her breasts have stopped producing milk, but the breasts are producing milk, but with no oxytocin reflex, it's not flowing. So, it's difficult for the baby to get milk. So fortunately, this kind of effect is usually just temporary and it can be overcome. So mothers are often aware of the oxytocin reflex, and there are several signs of an active reflex that she may notice, like a squeezing or tingling sensation in the breast just before the baby feeds or during a feed, or milk flowing from the breast when she thinks about her baby or hears the baby cry. So some mothers see milk drop from the other side when a baby suckles because the oxytocin reflex activates in both breasts at the same time. Um, and then slow, deep sucks and swallows by the baby, which shows that milk is flowing into the baby's mouth. That's also a sign of an oxytocin reflex. So during feeds in the first few days, one also might notice uterine contractions and sometimes a rush of blood as the uterus contracts, because when the oxytocin reflex is activated, because oxytocin that squeezes the milk from the breast is the same hormone that contracts the uterus and was squeezing the baby out of the womb. So some mothers don't feel a letdown, some mothers don't see dripping, but every mother can see a baby suckling change from that quick, short sucking to that deep, long drop in the jaw type suckling when the milk has let down. Okay, thank you for watching this recording. This was now recording 3 or 4, and the next recording 4 or 4, Anatomy and Physiology. We will be looking at the feedback inhibitor of lactation and the concept of storage capacity. Please visit breastfeedingsa.co.za if you would like to book a private consultation and receive the class notes. And you can also navigate the class recordings easier from the website. And please feel free to subscribe to this channel for more breastfeeding class recordings. And take care till next time.